Rahul Gandhi now appears to have made a stunning error, a stunning blooper during his attack on the government as part of the ongoing Adani campaign. Rahul Gandhi tweeted out a picture where he has pointed at Adani's links to a Chinese company. That's the tweet you see on your screen there, with a picture of Gautam Adani with a gentleman who Rahul Gandhi says is from China and part of a Chinese company. But here's the rub. According to many voices, including members of the BJP, the firm that Rahul Gandhi says is Chinese is actually Taiwanese, not Chinese. Well, this embarrassing, startling, shocking blooper by Rahul Gandhi has taken place amidst all the attacks over Adani. And remember, it comes just a few weeks after Rahul Gandhi had berated External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar as being clueless about China. You remember how Rahul Gandhi gave gyan to Jaishankar about China? Well, now Rahul Gandhi appears to have made an enormous, embarrassing blooper by calling a Taiwanese company and a Taiwanese businessman as Chinese. Is this cluelessness, or is this, as the BJP alleges, an insidious towing of China's line? Well, whatever it may be, this has blown up in the Congress's face on social media, with the BJP and many independent observers as well wondering about who is advising Rahul Gandhi on these attacks, given that this one makes him look very, very poor and ill-informed. I want to go across to India Today's Gaurav Sawant for more on this. Gaurav, this is as embarrassing as it gets. Given that it comes just a few days after Rahul Gandhi had grabbed the headlines for, sort of jibing at the External Affairs Minister, saying, he doesn't know very much about China, he doesn't know how to handle China, he's scared of China. Now you've got Rahul Gandhi, obviously immersed in that whole Adani attack, making an unforgivable blooper. One would have imagined that Rahul Gandhi would have a research team, a team that gets its facts right as far as something as different as China and Taiwan is concerned. But he's landed right in the middle of it by labeling this company as Chinese when it is Taiwanese, Gaurav.
Shiv, you've hit the nail on its head, and it actually would be extremely embarrassing for Rahul Gandhi and Rahul Gandhi's team, because, calling Taiwanese Chinese is absolutely bizarre. I mean, China and Taiwan are virtually at war.
Yeah.
They're at loggerheads right now. Tsai Ing-wen, the president of Taiwan, is in the United States of America. China is seeing red. And, anybody who's following just basic news from the time when Nancy Pelosi, then US House Speaker, visited Taiwan, and we reported from ground zero in Taiwan that time and much later how tensions were extremely high between China and Taiwan, and everyone's talking that China may be attacking Taiwan in the next couple of years, will not wait for reunification till 2049. It's very basic. And Rahul Gandhi goes wrong here. And this is something, this is actually given the BJP a big stick to beat the Congress with, and Amit Malviya has actually grabbed onto it. But first let me get you what Rahul Gandhi said. PMC projects, Rahul Gandhi calls it Pradhan Mantri Chinese projects. Why are India's critical ports, airstrips, railway tracks and electricity lines being built and controlled by a Chinese company? Shiv, if a Taiwanese company, and incidentally, Shiv, you and I have reported how some Chinese companies had come in some very critical projects where they should never have been there, including in parts of telecom earlier, and how difficult it was to get them out. The enemy was actually given a way to come inside earlier. Now that enemy is being put out. But here is a Taiwanese company which is very hostile to China. And Rahul Gandhi says it's a Chinese company. What is Amit Malviya saying? He says that Rahul Gandhi perhaps doesn't know the difference between PRC, which is People's Republic of China, and ROC, which is Republic of China, which is Taiwan. Unless, of course, and the sting is in the tail, Shiv, the sting is in the tail where he says unless he's endorsing the Chinese view that Taiwan is China.
You know, in this globalized economy, you know, one can always imagine that companies have international linkages. There may most definitely be Chinese linkages with Indian companies, including Adani. But in this particular instance of this particular tweet, to make a point, make a political point as part of a campaign against what Rahul Gandhi alleges is a personal equation between the Prime Minister and Gautam Adani, Rahul Gandhi has fallen into a very, very embarrassing ditch where he's only demonstrated, you know, given ammunition to his critics, including the BJP, where, as Gaurav rightly said, two bullets in the hands of his rivals. It reinforces the idea that, you know, that Rahul is clueless about global affairs while he, you know, lectures and gives gyan to others about it. And point number two, that, you know, is he towing the Chinese line? Could the Chinese use this particular tweet, you know, to further their own agenda? Remember, this comes just a few days after China had unilaterally tried to rename parts of Arunachal Pradesh using Chinese names. So all of this comes at a time when China is an extremely sensitive and emotive issue, and it couldn't come at a worse juncture, Gaurav. You know, the fact that China is such a hot potato issue as far as India is concerned right now, to confuse China and Taiwan gives Rahul Gandhi's critics the right to question him both on whether he is clueless or whether there is some kind of insidious intent.
Shiv, either way, it's a hit wicket for Rahul Gandhi. You know, somewhere where he could have been on the front foot and hitting it out of the park, it's an absolute hit wicket for Rahul Gandhi. You're absolutely right. Given the situation between India and China right now, you know, even if India had in the past spoken of one China policy, you see after the clashes in Galwan, India has been very, very guarded in every word that India says on China. Yeah. And Shiv, you and I have reported on this. It started right from Doklam 2017 onwards. You know, the fact that India was able to, at the Tri-Junction, ensure that Chinese do not succeed in their aim. The tensions that started that time, that is again an issue where the BJP is hitting out at the Congress saying, why would Rahul Gandhi go to the Chinese ambassador and get a view, get his take on the story instead of getting it from government of India. But be that as it may, even now, you know, calling Taiwan China is something that the Congress will find it very difficult to answer, because they have very accomplished foreign policy experts, whether it's Salman Khurshid, former External Affairs Minister, or Shashi Tharoor, you know, again, Minister of State for External Affairs earlier, Member of Parliament right now, someone who understands, you know, has his head and heart in the right place, understands the nitty-gritties, and, you know, perhaps if he had seen this tweet, perhaps it may not have been tweeted at all.
This does nothing for Rahul Gandhi's credibility on an issue which Gaurav rightly said, where Rahul Gandhi is on the front foot about. This just gives his critics the right to beat him up over not being familiar with the facts and not being able to differentiate between Taiwan and China. It couldn't get worse than this when it comes to bloopers in the political battle space. Gaurav, thanks very much for getting us that. We'll get more details and reactions on this story in the minutes ahead.